dear beings. We are having some interesting experiences that we would like to share. And the point of this video is to give you an idea of how miracles can look in your life and how you can turn things that seem like a negative into a positive. I would like to use my story as an example. I experienced one session. We are giving away these free energy sessions just to get a checkup on your energy. And we are exploring with that, with this new consciousness. And so we experienced a being that portrayed, was like feeling for something that they could say that would capture my attention. Like these hooks and tentacles, like whatever they can to hook something. You know? Even lying doesn't matter as long as you get that attention. Because they don't know how to manage their energy properly. That is the reason for beings like that. So that is one thing to just pay attention to as we're speaking about this, because it's a very interesting perspective that I'm feeling into in this new way of operating my human. It is a new way. It is the holistic perspective. It's a different perspective of looking at things. It's closer linked to A Course in Miracles. How you would embody the Course in Miracles. That is the teachings here. That's really what we're teaching you. And well, these are the Ascended Master teachings and what the Ascended Masters would do in this situation, in other situations. The special with this configuration is that he can read others. He knows that his energy is clean, and so he feels then what is others in his energy field. And we come through and alchemize that. So we produced 2 Gaia sessions through Kenneth as an alchemy for both his body with that frequency towards that being. Even how dysfunctional he was operating his body towards Kenneth, the human, during the meeting, right? Even though we were reading, his soul wanted this frequency. And so that was a little thing there. It was very poorly spoken, communicated. It was purely us tuning into his soul. He was not portraying that at all. No, it was very different from what he is. But he has a lot more steps to take. And so with energies like that, we cannot include in this program yet, because they're just not ready. They are not ready yet to look at themselves. And so that is what people call energy vampires and all of that. We don't want you to use those terms, because they are souls And if you use those terms, you are labeling them and you are looking down on them. And that is not good for them to feel your projection onto them. That just makes them behave like that even more. Energetically uplift them through your consciousness and see them correctly, that they are beings that just wants the light but don't know how to get it themselves. We get it, but there needs to be a maturing phase. We don't agree with certain behaviors in our relating to other beings anymore. We used to cater to other energies, like an empath would, but now we have clear boundaries. And so we cannot engage with that energy. However, because of the Gaia sessions, it was a wonderful way to gift someone that is very challenging to deal with a remedy. So they have a choice to recognize truth or to keep with their lie. Right? And there is a price tag to those that I was guided to set much higher because of the nature of how it happened and the way that it happened. It was very inconvenient. It wasn't being straight up. It was very sneaky, very manipulative. Other desires sneaking around, lots of other energies, entertaining lots of weird stuff. We could feel all of that. And it doesn't feel good to this body. And so, that's that. That's how we alchemize energies, by looking at things from the holistic perspective. Turning every story not just into another story, which many people believe. No, it's deeper than that. You have to know what reality is, so that you're not pretending, but you're actually changing from the inside out. Not thinking that you're changing because you're still operating from the mind. There are lots of nuances here to get into. Ooh. Okay, a little side note. I think that this is actually added sugar. My body tasted a normal coconut that was cut open, and it didn't taste like this. Do you see? We always have to have a comparison, and then we have to see, okay, is this the same? No, it's different. This was natural. This was on the bottle. My body feels that this has added sugar. I don't care what they say. That's secondary to what my body feels. Something is off. I'm not gonna let someone talk me out of it. You know what I mean? Like being really authentic with the truth. When it feels off, and start to talk about it, even if you have just met the person, you know, that will be liberating to me. That would be so liberating, because then my body could finally relax, go like, oh, at least everyone is just like talking about this stuff now, you know? But many beings are still just pretending. And so, what we experienced after going through with all of that, that is alchemy. This being gifting this other being with the remedy that worked for himself, not putting anything on the story of what happened, but just recognizing a brother of the light struggling right now. That doesn't mean I condone his behavior, right? There's a difference. So the communication is as such. It is clearing the air, telling the things that felt off straight to their face, so that they can know the truth. Finally, someone can speak the truth to these beings, these poor beings that are being labeled as narcissistic and toxic and all of that. It is just a human wanting to be loved underneath all of that. I know, because I felt those feelings from inside being a narcissist. I was also there. I was also being a narcissist. And it was only by meeting an even bigger narcissist that I started turning and looking at my stuff. Then that got me looking, actually. And that was my deepest gift that experience gave me, was that I started deepening into me instead of doing the way that narcissists do, which is just project, blame, push things over to the other side. It was a deep spiritual gift, but it was also deeply, deeply challenging for the body and for this whole system to go through. But we have gone through it clean. That's what we have. Our heart light as a feather. Transformed. Actual transformation of narcissism. Because I saw what it is. I saw what it was, what it is, what it still is for the beings that are still there. It's just a being that has not yet got a voice. Scared, petrified of beings figuring out that he's a fucking coward, lying, manipulating everything to get energy because he's scared. He doesn't know what to do. How do you do that? But then he's also not knowledgeable enough to actually ask properly and be upfront, right? He hasn't understood his own body enough to comprehend that, hey, there are some feelings here that I need to take responsibility for, right? You can't keep blaming the outside. I did that for the majority of my life too. Pretending to be spiritual, trying the things and doing the things, but I was still not in the right mindset until that shift. Sometimes it's the most challenging things that shape us. And that has definitely been the case for me and this being. It has strengthened so much my intuition, my belief in myself, why I'm here. It connected me to my soul mission, because it was as if I'm being squeezed out of everything, even that, because I was portrayed to be like hers or something. But it was stealing, consciousness stealing. Because the beings that are projecting and holding on to things on the outside, they don't know the difference between the outside auras and the information there, and the inside auras and their information. So they just feel whatever and channel whatever, even the words that were supposed to come through this being. It's very interesting when we look into the details of what actually transpired on an energetic level. It is much different than what it seems on the top layer of the psychology of the beings that are still in the dualistic perspective. They don't see it yet. They still have to go through it, go through the ringer, with Gaia slapping him on the face, or whatever needs to happen. Right? There are some energies that is needing to clear. And so these energies needs to move out from the body. It is okay. We get it. We see the holistic perspective. We see that perspective. And we see a transformed, better version, a more accurate energy read is a better way to say that, a more accurate energy read of the truth of what happened energetically. That's where we always have to get to. Unless you are there, you're still in duality. Believing in stories. No, this fault because of this and that. No, this fault because of this and that. No. No. It is not about the outside. It's about the inside. It's about the inside of each individual. It's about cultivating that inner strength, that you do the right thing, that you're honorable, that you do what is correct. You do what is correct by the person's soul. That's a lot of points in Gaia's books to ascend in frequencies. That is a very high frequency to hold when you have been betrayed by someone deeply. There is a lot of feelings from the body. The body has felt through a lot of pain, right? But we have alchemized it and alchemized it. All of that narcissistic, inner, distorted views of all of this narcissistic. This entire video is an alchemy of anyone that is a narcissist. If you know anyone that is portraying signs of narcissism, send them this video. Watch it also yourself, because sometimes we even project narcissism and it's actually about us, right? So we really need to look at narcissism in a different light. It is time to bring it together in harmony inside. When we bring it in harmony inside, we include it as part of us. When we include it as a part of us, we are becoming whole, because we're including it in our experience. And when we include it in our experience, the energy is growing bigger. And we're here to embody who we are, our own unique energy. You have your unique energy. I have my unique energy. This is not about attaching and leeching outward. It's about developing your individuality being more self-focused so that you care more about your own well-being, but not from stories, but the true figuring out about the body. What does this feeling really mean? Is there a higher way that we can operate here? Yes, it is. That is what we are providing here for you. And if you wish to go deeper, the first step is to sign up for this free 28-day consciousness shift where I channel Jesus. That is 28 days you commit to go up in frequency. It is some of the fundamentals that you need in order to raise in frequency. After these 28 days, you will be invited to join the community where we go much deeper and that we raise even higher. There's a lot of knowledge inside of the community, and we are bringing through a lot of clarity about how it is to operate in your Christed frequency, let's say. There are many words for this. Christed frequency, your divine self, who you really are, all of those are actually the same. So we don't have to go, oh, which one is on this level? We can go, oh, okay, let's look at the common denominator of all of this. And so we go to the truth. And that is the energetic truth. So it's less about what we're saying, it's more about what we're aligning with words completely congruent with the body and Gaia. That's the balance we want to get to in order to connect to higher consciousness and higher intelligence. This is the real HI link up that we're meant to be connected to continuously from birth. That is what all beings are meant to as just functional, fully functional humans. And a lot of the times, people haven't been taught, at least not from the inside out. There's been a lot of mental gibberish about this subject, a lot of psychology, and there's a lot of good stuff, but there's also has been a lot of gibberish, right? Just too much mind, not really getting to the clear, what is all this stuff about? Correcting energy so that we can be more fluent with our energy through this body. And mine looks different than yours. You have a particular way of connecting yourself. That's the whole game. So if you're interested in your own link up like this, then please sign up for the free consciousness shift as the first gift for you to get your footing in these higher frequencies that we're all stepping into. Believe it or not, this is where we're all heading to master these things. So I highly encourage you to start master them now, sooner than later, because the world needs you. It is our alignment that starts to shift the nature of what the world is. So we have to get together in places like this to start to change a different world. And that is what this is. We're sending you so much love and so many blessings to your day. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.